Have you ever wondered why one of the world's most iconic children's networks, home of cartoons like SpongeBob SquarePants, Avatar, The Last Airbender, The Fairly Odd Parents, and so many more, is called Nickelodeon? It's such a playful, bouncy name that it's easy to assume it was invented purely for fun. But the truth is that the word Nickelodeon actually comes from a completely different world, long before television existed, and even longer before the network's trademark slime became a pop culture symbol. So sit back, relax, and get ready to discover the real story behind why it is called Nickelodeon. Right here on History of Simple Things. To understand the name, we have to travel back to the early 20th century, during a time long before television, when entertainment was simple, inexpensive, and often an escape from the stress of daily life. In the early 1900s, a new kind of theater began to spread across the United States. These small, cozy venues offered short films, vaudeville performances, and musical acts for the incredibly affordable price of a nickel. And this is where the first half of the name comes from. The word nickel literally refers to the 5-cent coin used for admission. Some of these theaters lined entire streets, glowing with early marquee lights and bustling with families, workers, and curious crowds who wanted to experience the magic of moving pictures, something that was still a novelty during that era. But what about the second half of the word, the part that makes it sound almost musical, Odeon? That comes from the Greek word oidion, which referred to small enclosed buildings used in ancient times for musical performances and singing. When you combine nickel and Odeon, you get Nickelodeon, a word that essentially means a theater you can enter for a nickel. It was catchy, clever, easy to say, and perfectly described the experience. Affordable entertainment for everyone. Throughout the 1910s, Nickelodeons became incredibly popular, helping shape the early film industry and paving the way for modern movie theaters. They were places where people could escape into stories, laugh, feel wonder, and enjoy something new, much like what the modern Nickelodeon TV channel wanted to represent many decades later. Fast forward to the 1970s. Television had replaced theaters as the most accessible form of entertainment, and cable TV was rapidly expanding. In 1977, a new experimental channel called Pinwheel launched in Columbus, Ohio, featuring educational children's programming. At first, Pinwheel was a very simple operation, focused mainly on preschool content. But in 1979, the network wanted to expand nationwide, evolve its identity, and appeal to a wider age range of kids, not just toddlers. This major transformation called for a new name, something that felt energetic, fun, and full of imagination, but also something that represented entertainment in its purest form. That's when the old theatrical word Nickelodeon resurfaced. The founders saw that the term had a rich history connected to early entertainment and imagination. It evoked nostalgia, creativity, and accessibility, values that match the spirit of a children's network. Nickelodeon as a name was whimsical, unique, and unlike anything else on TV. While other channels had straightforward names like The Learning Channel or The Disney Channel, Nickelodeon stood out because it sounded playful and mysterious. It invited curiosity. Kids might not have known what a real Nickelodeon was, but the sound of the word itself made them feel like the channel was designed especially for them. So in April 1979, the network officially rebranded as Nickelodeon, marking the start of a new era in children's television. Once the channel launched nationwide, the name Nickelodeon quickly proved to be a brilliant decision. It gave the network room to experiment, reinvent itself, and grow into a brand that kids could instantly recognize. The name felt like stepping into a world of imagination, and that feeling only became stronger as the channel developed its identity with bright colors, quirky logos, and of course, the iconic green slime that became its trademark. What made the name extra powerful was how it connected the channel to the long tradition of low-cost, high-delight entertainment. Just like the original Nickelodeon theaters, the TV network wanted to give kids everywhere access to fun, creativity, and laughter, no matter their background. It felt inclusive, a place where any kid could feel like they belonged. Nickelodeon also embraced the rebellious, slightly messy, and wonderfully chaotic energy that children naturally have. While many kids' networks tried to be safe, formal, or strictly educational, Nickelodeon was bold and unpredictable. This personality fit perfectly with a name that sounded both historical and playful. The branding team leaned into this approach, producing weird, imaginative, and sometimes absurd promos that stood out from anything else on TV at the time. The name Nickelodeon helped make the channel the first major children's network in the world, and it shaped an entire generation's childhood experience. So the next time you hear the name Nickelodeon, you'll know it's not just a fun-sounding word or a quirky brand choice. It's a piece of entertainment history, stretching all the way back to early 1900s theaters, where people paid just a nickel to experience the magic of stories brought to life. And from its early days of experimental shows to its modern-day legacy of iconic cartoons, Nickelodeon has lived up to that name in every way. And in the end, that's what makes the name Nickelodeon so special. It bridges the past and the present, reminding us that great entertainment has always been about wonder, imagination, and simple joy. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. If you enjoyed this video, please check out our other bingeable channels. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.